making sure it's all done. Okay, yay! I'm now already in the back to live and see whether it's all clear. All right. Okay, so I hope my voice is clear as well. Besides my camera, which went wonky for a while. So okay, today I am going to share a little bit of the lessons that I learned while running a half marathon. I don't have any questions for today. Like I don't have any frequently asked questions for today. So I am just going to dive straight into the topic that I'm going to talk about today, which is three lessons that I learned from running a half marathon. So just for context, right? I have been running marathons for the longest time. I think I run marathon ever since I'm young. I think when I'm still a teenager, I'm still in school. So but back then I don't have any like business, or even when I already running a business, I didn't really have the I would say have the context to see whether it's kind of like match with my business and also the running itself. But recently, I just did my half marathon. I think it was last 2 weeks ago, for Sundown, and I noticed that I can actually imply a lot of things to business while preparing for the run, while running itself. So today I'm going to share with you three lessons that I learned when I'm actually doing my half marathon, which is 21 kilometers, 21 kilometers distance. Yeah. So I would actually I would actually guess that some of you or even your friends who actually does half marathon or long distance running, they will somehow tell you that these runners, right, somehow tell you that when running it's kind of like clear their mind, giving them some give them like a relaxation, and also can also come in touch with your inner self. And I totally agree with all these confessions that they made. I totally agree, and could totally relate to the things that they mentioned, what I mentioned earlier on. But one point that I also notice is that running and running as in running long distance and running a business can actually have some kind of common grounds. So yeah, today I am going to share you with that lessons that I am going to mention, in hopes that it can actually help you with your business as well. Okay, so here goes. I have my notes here. So I'm gonna share with you some of the points that I want to share. I'm gonna relate it in between running and also business aspect. Okay, so let's go. All right, so first things first, the first lesson that I learned from running is actually both need to set milestones. You need to set milestones for both. So, for example, when you are running, right, it's really crucial to build up your strength. It's really crucial to build up your stamina. So, if you are just starting out, I always recommend to start small, especially if you have no background of running, you have no background of, especially long distance. So I would actually suggest, if you are looking out at starting to do long distances, always go with milestones. So always start with, for example, 3 kilometers. Okay, and then you go into 5 kilometers, and eventually 7 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and then 21 kilometers. So this is the same as in business. you have to start when you first start your business, right? If you are actually a seasoned business owner or you're a seasoned freelancer, you would actually remember how you first started. You can't expect your business to be successful overnight. There's a lot of milestones that you need to take into consideration. So it will be a long and challenging trip when you run your own business. So therefore, you really need to break it down into milestones. You need to break it down into stages. So always set high yet, okay, remember this, set high yet realistic goals and basically use them as a stepping stone for your next win. So it's the same goes with running and also business. You need to set milestones for both of them. So if not, you will be, I just feel that if you don't have milestones to hit, you'll feel disappointed if you don't hit them. So if, like for example, you just starting out as a business owners, you want to reach that maybe $10,000 in a month, but what is the realistic goals to reach there? So you need to have those kind of like break it down into stages, break it down into milestones. The same goes for running. If you want to run long distance 21 kilometers or 42 kilometers, set the milestones. You cannot just decide to um run 21 kilometers today, I mean tomorrow, today you're going to like be fit and everything. There's a lot of preparation going on before you start running your first long distance. So it's really about setting milestone for both running a long distance and also business itself. All right, so if you have any questions about running, I don't have, I mean, I'm not an expert in terms of like running a long distance marathon. I do what I usually do, and I have my own set of milestones that I always hit. But if you do have any questions about running a long distance or have any questions about running a business, you can just drop into the comment box or the chat box and I will answer them. All right. Okay, so the second one, the second lessons that I want to share with you is both need a greater purpose. When I first started running, back then my first, you need to, okay, basically when I say purpose, right, it's basically your why. Why are you doing what you are doing? So for running, I remember vividly that when I first started running, it's really to my why at first when I first started running marathon is more of like a personal goal. It's more of like self satisfaction, like I can actually do it, I can do the milestones, I can do everything. Basically it's really more into my personal goal. But I realized that it kind of like only stayed for a while and then I don't feel happy doing it. It's just like, why should I run long distance again? That kind of thing. So I dig deep. And I really want to understand myself, like why I actually do run long distances. Is it just for me or is it for somebody else or what is it? So when I dig deep, I realized that I really want to inspire my age group, those 40s age group, that uh you can you can actually love running even though you have already reached that age group. I want to inspire those especially above 35 or even who just entered their 40s, to tell them that it's really possible to run long distance if you really put your heart and soul. And also, I mean, I wouldn't say heart and soul, but if you really put in the milestones as well. And yeah, I think it's really I would say a why that I want to help this group of people if they are kind of like interested to start uh start running long distance, because it's never too late to do long distances, to run long distances. It's really not about the age group, but it's more of like the preparation as well. So in business, You also need to have your why, your big why, your greater purpose. Why are you actually, what is the reason that your business exists? You have to ask this kind of questions to yourself. Um is it like, for example, okay, wouldn't say that whatever you run a business, right, is definitely a greater purpose than just profit alone, right? So whenever I talk to a lot of my friends, or a lot of new freelancers, or who just wanted to start out business, I will always ask them to ask a few pivotal questions. So some of the questions I want them to actually really ask themselves that question. So one of the question that I always get them to ask themselves is what is the business that they are bringing into the marketplace. So what is it that your business is bringing into the marketplace? Okay, another pivotal question that you should also ask yourself is, how is your business changing the community that you are serving? How can your business change the community that you are serving? And if you can actually touch all these questions, right? Sorry. So if you can actually touch on all these questions, and you can really answer these questions, then this is your bigger purpose. This is your why, and you will see it as your driving inspiration. So if you're just, like, if you're just telling yourself that you start this business because you want profit alone, then it will actually stay with you for a while. You won't be gearing up early in the morning to have to run your business. So that's not something that we want to happen inside our business, right? So ask pivotal question. Always ask pivotal questions into your whenever you want to create a business. Whether sometimes even myself, I have been running the business for 10 years. I still ask this kind of questions because as much as we definitely want to have a lot of sunshine and flowers and butterflies around our business. Nobody wants, thunder. Nobody wants rain when it comes to running a business. But when there will be a certain point where you feel like a chore running a business, so these kind of pivotal questions really will help you dig deep on what is the purpose of you running your own business. Okay, so that's the second lesson. Now, let me go through the third lesson that I have for you. I would say that both running and building a business need mentorship, need teamwork, and also need partnership. All right, running a marathon is, you are not going to be successful if you don't have the help of your friends, with the help of your family, or with the help of your mentors who have run before, who have experienced the marathon before. So a lot of my friends, just giving some context here, a lot of my friends that who have run before the long distance marathon, sometimes they don't even mind running it again with me, because they want me to experience the success of reaching that finishing line, and like all the accomplishment, all the pre workouts before the marathon, it's all paid off. So when you have this kind of friends, when you have this kind of mentors, when you have this kind of like family even, you feel accomplished. You feel it's really like a teamwork. It's really like holding your hand, like they are helping you to be successful in your marathon distance. So it's the same like business. It's the same for if you are running the business. Mentorship, networking, and partnership is really very vital, I would say, in you running the business. You need to find someone who has been in the business, maybe whether it's the same niche or maybe just as a business as a whole, find these people to ask questions, so that you don't get trapped into the rabbit hole by googling a lot of questions, and at the end of the day you are not able to find the answers. So always have always have this kind of always have this kind of people around you, so that you can seek help, you can work together with, and always be willing to invest in yourself and your business, and open your heart to learn from others. Because mentorship and networking, especially networking, I feel networking is really, really very important, because you want to put yourself out there. And when people are doing, for example, for example, a company wants to do a training about videos, I would want to be the first thought of mine in their mind, that I'll be the one that doing the training. So this is some of the things that you can actually do when it comes to running your business. Okay, so yes, that is what I have for you, the lessons that I have for you while running a half marathon or marathon, or basically long distance running, how you can actually implement it on your business itself. Another point, I just maybe a bonus point for you, a bonus lesson for you, is to, when you run, right? Definitely your pace and others will be different. Definitely, you may run faster than them; they may run faster than you. Always, to me, never compare your own pace. Never compare your own, your own success. Basically, you when you have your milestone set, when you work towards that milestone, that is the pace that you should be celebrating, instead of comparing with other runners. So again, it's the same with running a business. Never compare with your fellow other businesses. You can collaborate, again, back to the partnership, back to the mentoring, back to the teamwork. You can actually collaborate, ask questions, but at the end of the day, it's your pace, running that business. At the end of the day, it's your milestones, and it's your celebration that you should be proud of yourself. All right. Okay. So that's all I have for you. It's a very short live for today, about 20 minutes of live. But I really hope that you get something out of this live. And if you do have any questions about running a business, or even, running long distance, you need some tips, you can always type in the questions in the comment box below. And I'll be happy to share my tips. I'll be happy to share my some of my tricks that I do. And yeah, I will see you again in the next live. See you. Bye.